Go!
Uh-huh.
Dum Dum,
Yes?
you give me gum gum.
I give you gum gum?
You do Dum Dum, you give me gum gum.
Gee, okay. You know what? I have no gum gum, sorry. And my name isn't Dum Dum. My name's Larry.
No, your name Dum Dum. Oh, you in trouble, Dum Dum. You better run from Attila the Hun Hun. See you later, Dum Dum. Go!
Uh-huh.
Dum Dum,
Yes?
you give me gum gum.
I give you gum gum?
You do Dum Dum, you give me gum gum.
Gee, okay. You know what? I have no gum gum, sorry. And my name isn't Dum Dum. My name's Larry.
No, your name Dum Dum. Oh, you in trouble, Dum Dum. You better run.
Earning your degree online is closer than you think. Apply today.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. It is Dufus After Dark on the American Dufus channel for Tuesday, the 27th day of December. December rapidly wrapping up, and we will be heading to 2023. Hello, Sandy Foster, Cunning Stunt, Katrina, and the Waves. Walking on Sunshine. Mission Impossible Mater. Sassy Pants Rum Rose. Freedom Fighter. From This I Know. LePreux. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody out there watching that is not in the chat. And thank you for clicking on, to everyone, including those watching at a later time on demand. That was a little something there. The for those that do not know, the emoji, the official symbol of the American Dufus channel, of the American Dufus show, of Dufus After Dark, whatever it is we're doing, is the MOAI, MOAI. And if you see that in the chat, that's what it is. It's representing the show, and you can add it yourself down at the bottom of your chat. When you click on the little emoji thing and it says search emoji, just search MOAI, and the MOAI emoji will come up. All right. See, we're just giving you things to think about from the very start here, and we're providing information. That's what we do. It's an information and talk show. And with that being said, what we did Saturday night, this is an information and talk show. what we did Saturday night was a very Dufus Christmas Eve with Lori Arnold. This unicorn spirit right here, of course, being Lori Arnold. That was not a regular, that was not a regular episode like this one is. That was a party. It was a Christmas Eve party. Somebody in the chat that night said, this is like being at a company Christmas party. And it kind of was. Only thing was, and thankfully, normally every party has a pooper. That's why we invited you, party pooper. There weren't any party poopers there. It was a, oh my gosh. It was unique. It was either straight down the toilet or it was epic. It all depends on your perspective. And for those that weren't there, although I got to be honest, I've never tried a cigar that I like to smoke cigars, and I've never. Okay, that's the kind of stuff it was about. Now, there's a portion in here. There's a portion in here where I introduce a segment called Sweaty Balls. And that was a Saturday Night Live skit from almost a decade ago. Well, they still own the copyrights to that. And they held up the video. So, it couldn't be seen anywhere in the world. And until we cut that part out. So YouTube cut that part out. So it's a little strange if you go back and rewatch it. I introduced this segment, and then the next thing you see is Lori and I just absolutely cracking up. As that's what most of the evening was about. Another reason I brought this up was because I wanted to get down here and, some people thought it was great. Some people, Lori was constantly breaking up. Horrible interview. Dufus, why didn't you let her know? You let her go on and on. We've had trouble every time we've had Lori on. We've had trouble. Unless we're at the same place at the same time. And then I always have trouble for some reason. But anyway, we knew we did a test, to be honest with you. And the test, everything was good. And at times during the other night, everything was good. At times there were, delays, and we dealt with that. And that's technology. But the idea that it was a horrible interview or it was a great interview, or it wasn't an interview. It was a Christmas party. And David Rydell's a true man and patriot. Horrible interview. It wasn't an interview. And honestly, I'd really like to have some of the people on that believe, David Rydell is a true man and a patriot. And I'm not saying he's not, and I respect their right to believe what they believe. I'd like to have some of them on and find out why they believe that way. Anyway, so if you go back and watch, there have been some things cut out. YouTube cut out some things due to copyrights. The Chippendales bit is still in there. There's a lot of funny stuff in there. And we may be doing it all over again on New Year's Eve. If so, details to come. We haven't not going to put anything out there yet. I'm going to pop back over here from this. I know Freedom Fighter Rum Rose. Oh, I'm at the same spot. Let me get down here to the bottom and say hi to Bunny. Oh, that's not even close to the bottom. Whoa. L. Smith. Yes, it was still fun even with the lags. Saw it as two friends having fun. Thank you, Sassy. Hello, Sissy, Ohana. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Is Sparky in here? Hi, Summer. BTM Sparky. Tupelo. What is a true man? Well, the president after Roosevelt was a true man. Harry Truman. Sorry, we saved the comedy for the parties, and here we present we present the info. So let's get back to that. Before we get deep into, we got some stuff we got to talk about tonight, and before we get too deep into that, I want to share something I found rather remarkable. I don't know, maybe, maybe to you all in the chat, this would be no big deal. But again, we got some deep stuff. So throughout the night, as we deal with deep stuff, we'll also have a little more lighter stuff. And here's one of those right now. Yeah, you see, I could do this. If it wasn't on the constantly tilting apparatus down here, the other thing, that probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But the balancing on the tilty thing there, it puts it out of reach for me personally. But like I said, if you can do that, if you're in chat, you can do that. Then it's not that big a deal. I found it rather remarkable. Okay. So first heavy duty thing comes from CNN, and it comes from the foreign minister of Russia, the rhinoceros section of the conflict over in Eastern Europe, where the unicorns are fighting the rhinoceroses. Foreign minister says the West needs to show restraint, quote, in order to minimize nuclear risks, end quote. They've been saying that for a long time. Yesterday, the headline was Putin is willing to negotiate, and Ukraine basically said, get off our lawn. There's nothing to negotiate. Leave our country. So how many times it's like that, the story, the boy who cried wolf. How many times have I reported on this threatening nuclear activities? And each time, it's like a new line in the sand for them. And I'm glad that it continues on that way. But at some point, the guy invaded the unicorn's country. And that alone was something no one, that people thought, this guy's crazy for doing that. So at some point, I sure hope nothing ever happens, but at some point, if it does, and we aren't able to communicate online anymore, always know that it's a dark world and constantly be a light wherever you're at. And I love you. All right. Now on to some more positive stuff. No, not really. Breaking news, as we always start out with, and not everything in breaking news is positive. Mainstream media wise, CBS News says the blizzard of the century, quote unquote, kills dozens, but conditions expected to improve. We'll have a little more detail on that coming up. Los Angeles Times, Southwest Airlines has a meltdown worse than the Indianapolis Colts, stranding passengers. CNN, heavy rain and snow hitting the West this week. We will have a little more on that too. New York Times, man who plotted to kidnap Governor Whitmer, that's the governor from Michigan, shown here, has been sentenced to 16 years. The Financial Times, Putin imposes oil ban on buyers complying with the G7 price cap. And CNN, Trump tax returns to be released by the House panel this coming Friday. Just in time for New Year's Eve. So that's what's happening according to the mainstream media. Again, not a lot of really positive, happy things there. Jules, how are you? ACB, they raised a communist Ukraine flag in the capital. What capital are you talking about? Ukraine's not communist. Ukraine's had several different presidents. They haven't, I don't think they've had one that's served back-to-back terms in maybe since 2004 when they, anyway. Christmas Day, there were a lot of things happening. I'm sure you guys had, great Christmas parties, and there was NFL football on. 3 NFL games were on. One of the games this past weekend was simulcast. The CBS game was also shown on Nickelodeon. And here's what that looked like with Patrick Star from SpongeBob. Oh, who lives it? Never mind. Come on.
Do you think you can do play-by-play of the next play?
It's okay.
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it. I believe in you, Patrick.
We got faith in you, man.
got skills, man.
Just good. Because I'll get tired.
Yeah, I get it. Right? Listen, it is very. Believe in you. What do you got?
And the big horsey have the ball. They can find a way to move.
Okay, they don't like me playing this, so we will stop. And I will, let me see if I can just pull this back up without playing it, because I know it's probably going to get copyright by the NFL. So I want you to be able to see this if you so desire, and you can do so at NFL.com videos / Patrick Star does play-by-play, which ended up being the play he did was an interception. Bobby Wagner from the Rams intercepting Russell Wilson from the Denver Broncos. So anyway, I was hoping I'd be able to get that just little 20-second thing in there, but no, but that's all right. You get the concept. And again, now know where to go and see it if you so desire. And I would recommend it, especially if you have kids or grandkids. As we talked about, a little more detail here, heavy coastal rain and mountain snow from a potent atmospheric river They are falling across the western United States, with more to come this week, and heavy coastal rain and mountain snow. Okay, same thing. And I found this from This I Know. From This I Know is going to be on the show this coming Thursday night, so mark your calendars accordingly. And go to Twitter if you'd like to hear all of this. I highly recommend you do. And I'm going to play it, but just in case for some reason this gets taken down, and this isn't on the on demand rewatch, just go to From This I Know on Twitter, and you'll be able to see the whole thing. Let me just restart it, and we'll just play it, because I have not heard it. I did not listen to it. Well, hold on. I did not listen to it. I just found it odd that it's porta potties. Anyway.
Fire me. That's a criticism, you dumb motherfucker. Then don't criticize me, bitch. Thank you. Yeah, it is funny that you're fucking idiot. Yeah, you're fucking moron. It's real funny. I love this motherfucker. I love this motherfucker. And you invaded this motherfucker first, bitch.
Okay, there's a lot of cuss words in there, and I'm just going to leave it at that. You kind of get the gist of it. And again, go to From This I Know. This is our Twitter bookmark scroll, as we normally do. And as I said, we're going to have some more lighthearted stuff, including this. This is puppies at an animal shelter in Florida overjoyed when playing with toys from Santa, quote, paws. Community members donated more than 200 toys and treats for dogs to enjoy for Christmas in Hillsborough, Florida. So puppers are kind of overwhelmed. Dufus dog, I got her rawhide, probably that big, rawhide bone thing, bows on it and stuff. Anyway, and she ate the whole thing in one night, and she wouldn't let me, tried to take it away from her. She's going to rip my arm off. Back to more serious stuff. Just in, the Supreme Court says the controversial Trump-era border restriction known as Title 42 will remain in effect while legal challenges play out. According to open source intelligence, Russia is preparing to launch an attack, a new invasion in the northern Unicorn territory. And pardon me, the Institute for the Study of War is the one that has the report, which is documented. And you can view it at the Study of War, Institute of Study of War. I actually applied for a job there as a never mind. Moorish Americans, part of the extremist, quote, sovereign citizen, end quote, movement, claim the southern Maryland gun range belongs to them, defying efforts by local officials to shut it down. This is all available on the Washington Post. Hackers steal $8 million from users running Trojanized Bitcoin apps. And BTC coin lost $3 million worth of cryptocurrency in a cyber attack. So that's 11 million right there. We don't tell you what to think or how to think on here. We just give you things to think about. One of the things to think about is Bitcoin a legitimate investment? Kansas police raided the hospital room of a terminally ill 69-year-old man because he used a vape pen and THC paste to ease severe terminal cancer symptoms. Cannabis is not legal in Kansas. And I'll tell you how long I've been out of the game. I had no idea THC came into paste until came in a paste until a couple of weeks ago, actually. And you know who you are that showed me. The Time Women of the Year, the heroes of the year are the women of Iran, according to Time 2022. Let this play for a moment. An actual true revolution happening in Iran, sparked by women who were sick and tired of being sick and tired of being subjugated, basically. And a lot of young people who had been feeling oppressed as well. And then pretty soon a whole bunch of the country is marching down the street, as we see right here. Okay, this is troubling. I just want to put a warning out before we do this one, because this is troubling, but in order to see it, I got to put it up bigger on the screen. And for those of you that might be leaning towards, crap. Okay. For those of you that might be leaning towards, you support Russia, or you hear propaganda that makes you think, you're not sure who to support. Well, that's what propaganda is supposed to do. It's not supposed to teach, it's really not supposed to get anybody to believe necessarily one thing or another. It's just supposed to get everybody to question what to believe. Think about that. Think about the power of that. And that's why we focus here on just trying to get people to think about things. Oh man, come on. There we go. Thank you for your patience here. All right. Again, this is troubling. This is Russians in the military dealing with the new recruits. Might as well leave it up. I don't think there's any music here in this. I'm not going to play the entire thing. You'll get an idea.
Схуяли позиции свои теряли, а? А что вы сделали, блядь? Вы десятером нахуй раненых нахуй вывозили, блядь. Командир, меня москаль отправил, блядь. Мне похуй, что твой москаль тебя отправил. Кто такой москаль? Пидорас он, блядь. Понял? Я сегодня из-за вас, сука, 6 трехсотых нахуй. 2 двухсотых нахуй, понял? Вы эту позицию, сука, должны были занимать, блядь. Козлы ебаные, блядь. Меня ротный отправил. А мне в рот ебался вас ротный, блядь. Вы чё, пидор, трусливые, блядь? Ай! Сука, блядь! Блядь, блядь! Больно, сука! Больно, блядь! Пидорас, блядь! Больно! Сука, блядь! Я нахуй 10 дней, сука, парни!
That's enough. It should be enough for anybody anyway. If not, you can find it You can find the thing in its entirety on Twitter, CT. Maybe you can't. Anyway, hold on. All right, back to the Bitcoin. Sam Bankman-Fried's criminal case over the collapse of his FTX cryptocurrency exchange has been reassigned to a judge known for handling defamation lawsuits against former President Trump and a sexual abuse lawsuit against Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew. Okay, one of the things this guy did, he took people's money for crypto. He bought stock with that money in a company called Robinhood, and the whole thing was supposed to be that Robinhood, once he bought it, everybody would buy it. It would go up. He would sell, put the money back into the crypto thing, and have his profit, and no one would know anything about it. That's one of the things somebody's ratted him out on. So just, for those that don't know. And again, just taking a small break for those that like beaver. This is a great video of a beaver. This is from San Diego Zoo. We see a lot of other animals, but you don't get close-ups of beaver very often. And that beaver knows how to handle a log, as you can see. People think beavers sound like that, like so, but they really don't. They're, you can see that they don't have the overbite everybody blows up. They sound a lot more like this, really, actually, than they do, with the whistling thing that everybody puts on them. But there you go. A little bit of a lighthearted look at beaver. Because we got some more serious stuff. And one of the serious things we have is George Santos. And I haven't even been showing this, have I? How long has it been since I've been showing this? Hang on, crap. I just now realized it. Because I clicked off... and I deleted a bunch of it already. Okay. Well, soon I'll have a monitor and hopefully that won't happen. But I've already deleted everything that you all didn't see, and I apologize for it. I'm doing it so the computer keeps running as quick as possible and until I get totally set up on the new one. And thank you again for everybody that's been helping out. And it is so appreciated. The Cashapp $ American Dufus, all one word, AMERICANDUFUS. Washington Post, the scale of George Santos' deceit and the remaining questions. You may ask, who is George Santos? Okay, thank you. Somebody did. Somebody actually asked that. I know they did. I'm not in the chat at the moment. But I know somebody asked that. And hang on just a second. Well, what happened? Did I close him out? No. There we go. For those that don't know George Santos, we haven't heard from this guy in a long time. And let's hear from Lazy Gamer. Who's George Santos?
I highly recommend you read some articles on George Santos. This is the craziest political story of 2022. This man, who ran as a gay Jewish Republican, won in New York. And right after winning, it basically came out that everything that he portrayed himself as was a lie. And he took a week off before responding. And let me give you a sample of his response. He called himself Jewish, but he's actually Jew-ish. Yeah, with a hyphen. That's his defense. It came out that he had a wife previously that wasn't mentioned. He lied about his past employers, lied about his college, lied about his mother doing certain things. People have suggested that he currently has charges in Brazil. There's questions about how does he not pay rent because he can't afford it, but then reportedly gave his campaign over $700,000. This man is just absolutely lying about everything, and it's just every single day there's something new. And you might think, well, maybe he's denying most of the lies. No, go read his responses. He admits to the lies and has a defense for everyone he's called out on. This is insane. He doesn't want to give up his position, though, and so far it looks like he's gonna actually try to stay after all the lies.
That, of course, just a lazy gamer. Haven't had him on here in a while. And so that's who George Santos is, a congressman-elect congressman-elect from New York, I think from New York's 3rd. And he didn't tell the truth to his voters. So if you can imagine that, imagine such a thing. There's Sam, actually, I'm back over here in the chat for just a second. That's under consideration, not even allowed. He hasn't been sworn in yet. He's just a congressman-elect at the moment. And let me see if this comes up. Okay. All right. For those that just got the description and didn't actually see the video, here's that beaver shot I was talking about earlier. Nice close up. That, again, you can see that they don't really talk like some people say they do. It's more about like this. I mean, I don't know. Romaine, my favorite lettuce. Okay, so there you go. That's one of the things that you didn't see. And finishing up here back on our Twitter bookmarks. In recent weeks, a call has arisen from several countries in the European Union that the European Union define the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization. Among those countries are Germany and the Netherlands. So it's a relatively serious call. And again, something for all of us to be thinking about, especially if you've let me get rid of that beaver. It's something to be thinking about, you know, especially if you've ever said anything against Russia or Putin, as Pavlov Antov has found out. Russian sausage magnate turned lawmaker Pavel Antov, died in India after he fell from the third floor of his hotel. A lot of, I don't know what it is, a lot of Russians seem to fall out of buildings accidentally. I don't know. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder. I don't know. I put this up here because, you know, this guy's just about to cut a big one. Okay. Hundreds lined up for water in Memphis as winter storm damaged pipes. So we had this big storm that was, you know, coming down, and we talked about it here on the episodes for a while. Luckily, it tracked a little farther north than it was supposed to, and but nonetheless, there have been impacts, and we're gonna talk more about that coming up here in just a minute. I found this also on Twitter. Cunning stunt. Special holiday edition, the Fort Wayne Holiday Lights Troll 2022. She's got Troll 2023 up in the description. Holiday Troll 2022 bonfire. You know, you can put that right along with your Johnny Troy and the Hayseeds tour shirts. Okay, again, you know, I'm scrambling some lighthearted stuff because there's some, if you start connecting the dots we've been showing you to think about tonight, you can see that a whole lot of the world is potentially ready to be ignited. South Korea scrambles fighter planes and helicopters over. North Korea sent 5 drones into South Korean airspace. Okay, the code was instead of panicking people, they said it was a flock of birds. One of the South Korean jets actually crashed. The crew was able to eject and survived, but they could not shoot those drones down. And if this was a probe, as I deem it to be, by North Korea to see how effective drones would be, the North Koreans have to be incredibly pleased because they didn't shoot any of them down, which would be worrisome. Okay, I want to draw your attention to this. Let me make sure that, okay, I want to make sure that I'm broadcasting the pictures out that I am here, because I'm not, there we go. I want to draw your attention to this. January 11th is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Crap. I'm sure a lot of the people in our chat, a lot of the leaders in many communities are aware of that, but a lot of us aren't. I wasn't until seeing this, and let me get back to it. January the 11th, and I think it's blue. Hold on, here we go. And can I enlarge it? I can't. All right. That's as large as I can get it. Blue campaign, yes. It's happening in our community. Get informed. This is from Department of Homeland Security.gov/blue campaign. National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. Wear blue and post pics to help spread awareness. Many homeless LGBTQIA+ young people fall victim to human sex trafficking every day in cities throughout the United States. See something, say something. Again, that's January the 11th, and we'll we'll have Summer on here. We'll have Sparky on here on that day. We'll have some of the, okay, we'll have, that was the last story. And we'll be drawing awareness on that day. Again, January 11th, we're blue. Okay, I'm back over to the chat just in time to see Hot Mess Summer saying Kentucky January is actually anti-human trafficking, and then it disappeared. Trafficking month. I know. I know. That's what's so neat. She helped make that happen, by the way, and it was a bill that was that she worked on along with the governor and other people in a task force to bring awareness. And yeah, that's why we love you. Patricia, my heart feels for your lost Rumrose. Oh, no. Rumrose, I'm not sure what happened, but peace be upon you. And the tenderest of mercies in this time, no matter what the loss was. It's a big day for us globally, but the whole month of January. Awesome. Well, we may have you on before then, but we'll definitely have you on there then, I hope. I hope, because I say that, but then again, she's going to be booked that day. So we'll talk about it if not on that day. Of course, you know, we do that. You know, we continually talk about it. All right. I got some other things to share here. And again, thank you all for clicking on. Thank you all for being here. I know Christmas is past, but I found this and I couldn't resist dropping this in here.
What's wrong, Robin? Tired?
I'm sorry. Oh, I just kind of had to throw that in there. Again, just, yes, it was Andy Devine. Cry 96 too. Cry. Santa's a perv. Oh my God, Santa wants to find us back. Okay. Again, details of our New Year's Eve party will be coming out soon, possibly by the end of this episode. I know. Katrina, stop. Okay. I'm going to get out of the chat area because this is, again, talk about this for just a second. Over Christmas, there was supposed to be this massive storm, blizzard of 1978 kind of thing. And those of us that lived through the blizzard of 78 kind of thing, we're going, nah, don't want it. But thankfully, we didn't get it. However, a lot of us in America, when it comes to weather, we get warnings. And then when something doesn't happen the way we envision it to happen, the next warning, we're like, F it, it's not going to happen. They talk about that stuff happening all the time and it never comes around here actually. And eventually, something does happen. Well, just because it didn't hit possibly where you're at does not mean it didn't hit.
Storm, now over 50 people are reported dead. Nearly 30 of those deaths happened in New York State alone. The governor is calling the storm.
Humbug.
Happy holidays, Mr.
Okay.
Scrooge.
I can barely get
I had that pulled off. All right, go ahead. We'll let them have
reception
one
outside the old town center.
more second. There we go.
Storm, the blizzard of the century, as the Buffalo area remains paralyzed from nearly 4 feet of snow. Mona Kozar-Abdi is there.
The death toll in western New York rising after what officials are calling the blizzard of the century. A winter nightmare unfolding, at least 51 dead nationwide, 29 in New York State alone. roads still impassable, forklifts used to clear vehicles.
This blizzard is the one for the ages.
Wanda Brown Steele's daughter, among one of the victims, found dead in her car after the snow rapidly piled up.
It's so easy to ask yourself, why, God? Why?
Emergency responders in Buffalo fighting multiple house fires, leaving crews in a dangerous battle with both fire and ice. More than 50 inches of snow have fallen in Buffalo over the past 3 days. In many neighborhoods, residents now turning to one another for life-saving help.
I'm coming.
Buffalo resident Shakira Autry took to social media after she heard 64-year-old Joseph White in distress outside her home and brought him inside on Sunday.
I found him screaming for help. When I looked out the window, he was getting blowed up and down the street. It was out of control.
Autry updating social media in a second video.
All right, what vehicle am I getting? I'm going to go.
Taking White to the emergency room of Erie County Medical Center on Sunday with the help of strangers. And one mother with no electricity, desperate to keep her baby alive when his ventilator suddenly stopped. Speaking to our ABC station, WKBW.
I was sitting there literally crying, wishing someone would just knock on my door, literally. And you know, if they said they knocked and no one was there, if they knew a mother and father and child were in there, they should have broke the door down. We were in there. We needed help.
Shahida Muhammad and her husband manually administered breaths to their infant for 2 days until Good Samaritans came to their aid. And elsewhere in the city, longtime residents opening up their homes to these visitors from half a world away after a knock on their door.
They said, we're part of a tour group from South Korea, and we have 10 people in our vehicle. And I said, get all of them inside our house right now.
Wow, Mona, these stories, unbelievable. And Mona joins us live now.
Again, just giving you a little something to think about. I want to give you another look here before we put that storm to bed. We're going to go to Dr. Reed Timmer.
Spray way up here. Woo.
Anybody that's ever watched Reed knows he's loud, and for you not to be able to hear him as he is screaming out there, it gives you an idea how loud that how loud the wind and waves were. Reed Timmer, storm chaser from the Discovery Channel, showed storm chasers. He's known as a tornado chaser, but he actually chased Hurricane Ivan. We covered that. We showed him covering that, and his car got washed out to sea. It was later washed back into sea, or back inland, by the way. But yeah, he was up in. He made sure he was in Buffalo when it hit there, and he's got some incredible video. Follow him on YouTube. Reed, Reed Timmer, Timmer. Used to have a show on the Weather Channel and has a docu-series as well. That's true. And we have some inside information that he potentially is doing something this coming spring. All four dominators, or all three of the dominators, have kind of been refurbished and are in line, ready to go. And we'll leave it at that. I've got a call. I've reached out to try to see if we could get him on here for a few minutes at some point. All right. I bring all that up because there is another group of storms coming. And again, it's going to be one of these things. Oh my gosh, everybody just told us there was going to be a big storm coming. Now you're telling us another big storm's coming. Well, it's already hitting the West Coast. This one is not going to be. This is going to be the tornado variety, not the bomb cyclone blizzard variety. And this is POW. This is Ponder on Weather. And he's a fairly well-known internet meteorologist. Ryan Hall didn't have anything when I was putting this all together, but I'm sure between now and Thursday night, we'll have something to show from Ryan Hall, y'all.
Deep South.
In the meantime,
along
here's
the East Coast there, and even portions out west. So a good chunk of the country is still seeing those freezing conditions. But like I mentioned, big changes are going to be on the way. So I appreciate all my followers out there and all the new followers. In fact, 2,700 of you just added yesterday. I would love to reach 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. You get all my daily content and detailed weather breakdown. So let's get right to it and take a look at the setup this morning, because we've got those rain showers entering the West Coast. So the areas into portions of Seattle seeing some more rain. In fact, they just went under a high wind warning out there. Now that transition to heavier rains have moved in portions of Northern California, but we've still got winter weather advisories and
Braden has
okay. Anyway, we've still got weather advisories, and so there are going to be some storms coming. And potentially tornadic storms. Again, depending on where this tracks. My headphones just went out. I'm hoping the volume's okay. His echo sounded like it was my echo. Something happened here, and I'm trying to get my headphones to adjust. And I accidentally, instead of pausing him, I closed him. So let me see here real quick. Let me see if I can pop him back up here, and we get a little bit more on this, just so everybody understands that, this is going to be one of those where there seriously is going to be a lot of rain in some locations, and could be some flooding. So I do want to get an advanced notice out there to everybody that's watching. Here we go. I'm pulling back. There we go. All right. Go ahead, Ponder.
Storm warnings for the Sierra Nevadas and the Intermountain West. We're expecting a lot of heavy snow for your ski lovers, no question. But if we take a look at the overall big picture and look at the satellite view, we can see the Arctic air. There's that cold front. Now it's safely out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and the cold air is going to be retreating. Santa came to town. It's taking the cold air with them back to the North Pole. But out west, it's all about this steady stream of moisture with the atmospheric river, the Pineapple Express, the wall of water. That wall of water extends all the way out in the Pacific. That train of water, and it doesn't really have a caboose with it because there's no end in sight, guys, as we're going to be seeing relentless storms day after day heading off the West Coast, taking a dent in the drought because they desperately need it. But they do have some flash flood watches, especially along the coast here. So I am expecting a lot of rain coming in out west. So let's really break this thing down for you, because as the cold air moves out in the Atlantic and retreats back to the North Pole, it's clear. It's high and dry out for a good part of the central and eastern 2/3. We're still dealing with that heavier snows. It's still snowing in Buffalo, guys. They can't stop this thing. And they've had a devastating blizzard with feet of snow. So, but you got one more day, and I think things do seem to calm down. But yeah, out west, there's the trend with the first initial system hitting the West Coast this afternoon, with the heavier rains entering Washington and Oregon, Northern California. That eventually creeps down into central and even Southern California later on in the day. It's all about the heavier snows are going to take place into the Intermountain West. And there's the transition with that warm front moving in from the central U.S. off into the east. And you can definitely see the transition as we go into tomorrow on your Wednesday with this warm front lifting into Texas. So Texas starts to warm up. That just shifts the winds around from the south. That lifts it northeast. So as this warm front continues to creep further north, that's going to bring those warmer conditions along with it. So that first initial system will move out of California and head into the desert Southwest. Now we're talking places into Phoenix, into the desert Southwest, getting some of those moderate to heavier rains at times. And then the heavier snows will really start to light up. And of course, portions of Utah into the western slopes of Colorado, back into Nevada here, into Wyoming, and all the way up into Idaho and Montana. That's on the day on Wednesday.
Montana
snowpack. So here's the overall snowpack of what's on the ground right now. So as that warm front lifts back up from Texas, that's going to melt these snows up here through the Ohio Valley, and eventually is going to be melting these snows, even the lake effect snows, the feet of snows getting into Buffalo. So flooding is going to be a big concern with just initial snow melt. And with that warm front lifting those temperatures, we've got some rain associated with it. So it's going to be a compounding effect. That flooding could be a huge concern deeper into the week. So here's the setup by Thursday. So as that warm front continues to retreat further to the north.
Okay. So potentially a wet and stormy New Year's weekend, including New Year's Eve. And again, stay tuned. There will be an announcement at some point about New Year's Eve for those of you that are concerned, and those of you that haven't had any moisture in the west for a while. You're going to get some moisture, possibly more than your topography is able to handle. There may be some flash flooding, so always, just be aware of what's going on. Hello, everybody. Hello, Lolo. Night, Lolo. Hello, Spoon. Easily distracted. Crazy Ivan. L. Smith. I think I saw Feisty. Did I see Feisty? Feisty Mama's up there. Tupelo. Dragon 8. Don't fall for false friends, everyone. Dangerous times. Okay. Thank you, Lolo. All right. I'm going to get back to the back to it here. A little bit of levity. Lolo, hang out for just a couple of minutes. Oh, wannabe spies. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to touch on that. I've had a couple of emails. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm going to wait until that flushes out a little bit before I talk about that. It's one of those I'm going to put the, hear no evil, see no evil, say no evil, because I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but something's going on. So yeah, heed Lolo's advice. And in the meantime, this is from Australian TV.
Wearing your Ugg boots on your hands. That's progressive.
Yeah, it's my muff. There we go.
Natalia's brought back the muff. It's very practical, the muff.
What are you talking
And Carl's lost it, Natalia.
It's for keeping your hands warm.
Exactly. Whole host of things that you could do with that. All right.
Stop it.
I think we should move on.
Yes. You're wearing your Ugg boots on your hands. That's progressive.
Okay, I think we should move on. Again, we got some deep stuff tonight, so we're offsetting it with a little bit of levity here and there. Okay, we've done some science. I kind of snuck it in on you. It's Science Tuesday. And one of the things that is going on is the magnetic poles are shifting. Here is the 22nd of December, 2022. This was the location of the northern magnetic pole. And here's the latitude and longitude. Let me bring it bigger there so you can't really see it unless you get really close. And there's a guy that he's got the 40-degree mark on here. There's a guy that says the magnetic pole, the magnetic field lines are stronger north of 40 degrees. And once you hit 40 degrees, the magnetic lines are farther apart and much weaker, and that the pole will shift dramatically when it hits that mark. Okay, that's what one guy is saying. Now another guy, nobody is saying the poles aren't moving. All right. And we're just giving you things to think about because indeed the poles are moving, both the magnetic North Pole and the magnetic South Pole. The guy that, here we go. All right. Both magnetic poles are moving. This is the northern magnetic pole. Started here, moved here, back here, back here, back here, back here, down, and now is out here and moving rapidly towards what is Russia. Here is where the south magnetic pole started out. As far as starting out, some of you may be asking, what do you mean starting out? Well, where it was first recorded. And the movement is not near as erratic as the northern pole's movement's been. The South Pole's movement is much more linear, and it has moved off of the Antarctic continent. Just a couple of seconds of what Ben Davidson has to say.
Enter weak fields. That's simply made up.
As I said, the guy said that once it got past 40 degrees, there would be weak field lines that would speed it up. I'm going to play you what Ben Davidson says. Then we're going to see why the other guy thinks what he thinks. Just giving you things to think about.
Finally, this is the 4th or 5th time I've had to make this video. It is not your fault if you're new to this topic, but for those of us who have been around, we have watched this guy fool people year after year. In 2011, when I started this channel, I was already bombarded with warnings about him and his regular calls for doom and donations. The science is wrong, twice, and it's the same con he pulls all the time. The poles are shifting, and there have been accelerations of the weakening magnetic field, but nowhere to that degree, not even close. Don't get me wrong, our way of life is in big, big trouble when this happens, likely in the late 2030s or 2040s. And yes, it is worth preparing now and disseminating information, but not based on nonsense that is legitimately less than pure speculation.
Okay, that's what he thinks. All right. Now we will take a quick look, and our Science Tuesday will be over. It's almost over. Stay with us. I know a lot of you don't get any science at all. So 10 minutes of science a week is going to be good for you. And here is the theory of 40 degrees explained. We're not going to go through the whole video.
I thought I'd go over just some of the very basics of the theory of the 40 degree.
Okay, this is the guy we just heard when he said the guy was a quack, and the science didn't add up. This is who he was talking about. These are two of the they're kind of on the cutting edge of monitoring the movement of the magnetic poles.
Beans will getting close to now nearly 9 months. We'll find out tomorrow whether it has covered another 5.1 miles when we take the SD cards out of the Trimax system. As you can see from these two diagrams that we're looking at, Earth has a magnetic field very similar to a bar magnet. And it does, unlike somebody else said the other day, it does have strong and weak field lines, and those are focused over the northern and southern hemispheres, just like on the bar magnet to the left. The weak field lines run around the equatorial region of our planet, and you could also say that for the bar magnet as well, in the center. So the theory is this, and I've explained it a few times. I just thought I'd go over it again. So we've watched nearly for the last 920 years the magnetic North Pole migrating over the northern hemisphere. And through studying an anomaly with a compass, I discovered that when it got to a certain point, we'll show you that clip of that video I did with the experiment. When it got to a certain point, a strange occurrence happens at around about 40 degrees. So when it starts to get into those weak field lines, it reverses. Now, what I'm suggesting in my theory is that whatever's responsible for creating the magneto, which generates the dipoles and the magnetosphere, whatever generates that has already rotated close to that 40 degree mark, or that distance that we've measured over the northern hemisphere of 40 degrees. And what the theory I suggested is that possibly it would do exactly as it does in the experiment once it crosses that threshold. Now you can see where, the intensity over the north and southern hemispheres, where the magnetic intensity increases, where them lines get really close over the northern and southern hemispheres, those are your strong field lines. Now, I worked out that they're around about 40 degrees from, one side where the pole originally started to migrate to where it is now. And that's why I believe whatever's responsible for generating the dipoles on our planet might cross the same threshold as what the experiment shows. I'm going to show you that experiment now, but I just wanted to clarify a couple of things about the Earth's magnetic field in relationship to the strong field lines and where they're located and where the weak field lines are located. So I'm going to start the video where you can see what we've got is a magnet rotating. Now, I've stopped it just before 40 degrees. You can see that the magnetic compass doesn't flick over. But when it goes beyond 40 degrees, it does that flick. Now, what I'm suggesting in my theory is in the core, the magneto is actually rotating. And what we've been witnessing for the last 120 odd years is that movement. And what's happened is the dipoles have followed the magneto. And as a result, I'm suggesting that it could do the exact same as what we're looking at in that experiment. Now, Ben Davison says a lot of things the other day that I don't think debunks this theory. The only real way to find out if this theory is going to play out as we suggest it might do is by just waiting a few more months. We're 9 months away from reaching that threshold, possibly where whatever in the core has been rotating will reach a distance or equivalent to 40 degrees over the northern hemisphere as we've been witnessing. So
there we go. Basically, the two of them are fighting over when the earth is going to end. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the... All right. So there we go. That is our Science Tuesday for this week. Again, like, you know, a couple of times a month we do Science Tuesdays, and I kind of snuck it in there. I didn't tell you we were actually doing it. I just got into the weather, and then we got so instead of north and south poles will now become east and west poles. That is one of the theories indeed, Patricia, and which will eventually lead to the earth tilting. There's all kinds of theories. All right. None of it's, you know, none of it is proven. And if it is indeed proven, they are things that we're not going to be able to do anything about. So that's why I'm always saying, enjoy these days, you know, enjoy every day you have. Be a light, be a positive person every day, and enjoy every day that you have, because we never know when our individual last day might be. And we don't know when the last day of the world might be. So enjoy the days that you have. The Big Bang Theory, says Rum Rose. And I feel fine. Yeah, I didn't finish the lyrics. Yeah, the end of the world makes you grumpy. Sure. But if you're a person of faith, whether that faith may be, if it is a monotheistic faith and it is Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, then that faith tells all of those people that there is just one that knows when, and nobody else, not the angels, not anybody. So don't get caught up on that. You know, always prepare for emergencies. I talk about that. Prepare, you know, because you never know. But as far as end of the world coming and, you know, what we're going to do about it, that'll be a big play it by ear thing. A couple of months back, I did this segment where I played what the emergency broadcast system announcement would sound like if there was a nuclear attack on the United States. And some of the stuff they, you know, it's, yeah. At the end, it's just going to be whoever's around you. If we are around when that does happen, you're going to be dependent upon or very wary of whoever's around you, depending on where you're at and the relationships you have or haven't cultivated. If that situation ever comes, but that's not what this is about. This is just letting everybody know that the magnetic poles are moving, because a lot of people aren't aware of it. And no, it's not like they are moving. The way they're moving now, they will both meet up in the Eastern Ocean unless there is a rapid polar flip. Now, if the poles do rapidly flip, that's not going to be the end of the world. However, it will take our magnetosphere down. It will lead to radiation exposure. It will lead to power grids going out and not coming back up. So there will be massive changes. And if that suddenly, if that's going to happen, the government's not telling us a lot about it. If it is potentially going to happen. So if you've seen the movie Don't Look Up, I don't know. I don't trust the government personally. I don't trust the government. I don't care who's running it. Because there are too many things that we haven't been told because they think we're children. And many times we act like children and wouldn't be responsible with the information. So there's that too. Blinded by the light, wrapped up like a deuce, another roller in the night. Oh, Rum Rose, love makes the world go round. Yes, Don't Look Up was great. It really was. It didn't make a bunch of money. It wasn't at the box office very long. Had a bunch of great stars in it, and the message was. I highly recommend anybody that has not seen that movie to watch it. And Leonardo DiCaprio is excellent in it. No one gets out alive. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. So, again, thank you all for clicking on. I'm going to be able to do it. I was shooting for getting everything in an hour and 30 minutes. Again, if you watched the Christmas party, the Very Dufus Christmas Eve with Lori Arnold, our special guest, thanks to Lori for coming on and doing all that. It was 4 hours long. Just under 4 hours after the editing, and probably 3 hours and 20 minutes of it was just laughing. So thank you, Laura. I'm glad you thought so. Yes. Actually, GA, thank you for doing that. Cause I was going to, when I put Cunning Stunts thing in the bookmarks to remind me that tomorrow night, Georgia, GA from CA and Cunning Stunt will both join the program as we have in the past, and they'll be with us tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we'll catch, obviously with those ladies on, we'll catch up with what's been going on around the 1776 and non-1776. Hot Mess Summer says, I want to do an online party and we all dress up. It would be fun. Yes, it would. Actually, Summer, we are going back and forth between what we're going to do this New Year's Eve. Whether it's going to be a pajama party or a costume party or both, or neither. Oh, sorry. Mercy. Yeah, we are going to do something New Year's Eve. And I'm pretty sure Lori Arnold is going to be the guest host again. And no matter what we do, we want you all to come up with us. Okay. If we have a pajama party, we want you to come up and say hi to everybody in your jammies. Especially if you're, I know some of you know the Big Bang Theory. There's a character on there, Barry Kripke is the character on the Big Bang Theory. And he would say, especially for you ladies with lingerie. So if you're wearing lingerie at the New Year's Eve party, no, seriously, if we do the pajama party thing or if we do the costume party thing, because I know Lori's ready either way or both. And, Lori's adorable, adaptable, and so incredibly watchable that it'll be fun. Mater says, I'm watching Big Bang right now. BTM Sparky says, nailed it. Well, thank you, Sparky. I know Sparky has a t-shirt. She said she has a t-shirt with the picture of Sheldon on it that says, my mom had me tested. Max Flower says, we'll never be anywhere but chat. And I think I'm good with that. Max, from the very first time, Max Flower is one of those that needs to remain a mystery, or doesn't need to, but it's really cool that, is mysterious and thought-provoking. Okay. And that's what I like about so many people in our chats and in other people's chats and that I've met along this journey. So many people are, thought-provoking, and there are a lot of independent thinkers, and I love that. I love all this. I really do. This has been incredible. And while it's been a really hard 2022, it's been a blessed 2022. Lori and I were talking about this the other night. Somebody said, somebody sent it, you and Lori are like, who'd they say? Katie and Ryan. I didn't really see that, but we have fun, and I think that projects. And I hope it does anyway. I hope it's as much fun for you all watching as it was for us the other night. And anybody that I offended or anybody I stepped over any lines, it was a Christmas party. Okay, I'm going to use that excuse. I had some shots. I wasn't driving. I was letting loose. I was having fun, and I've done morning radio. I've done stand-up comedy. Things come out, and they come out, and sometimes they come out not intentionally. So if I hurt anybody's feelings, if I said anything wrong or whatever, I apologize. And there was no ill will or ill intention. It was all meant as fun. And I'm not directly apologizing for anything, because in my memory, I don't think I did anything wrong, but I haven't watched the whole thing yet either. And I do know there was singing and dancing and jocularity, and we poked some fun at people. Anyway, Max Flower waves hands in woo-woo motion. Lolo's Lounge, we don't need to explain, silly. you never know who the enemies are. Love Barry and Lori. Thank you, Spoon. Oh, thank you, Hot Mess Summer. Why are you blushing? Because I think because YouTube cut the video up, and I understand why they did. I totally understand. They had to get the sweaty balls skit out of there, and I'd have never played the sweaty balls skit if Lori hadn't talked about Oreo's balls, and that led to the whole thing. But since it got cut out, the chat's not available, and the chat was oh my gosh, the chat was fabulous. The chat was fabulous in that show. The reason I'm blushing, Feisty Mama, to answer your question, I'm under the way somebody said to me that that Lolo and I like got engaged and then broke up in like a 3-minute period, and they weren't even sure I was aware of it. So there are a few things that I'm not sure what happened as it got towards the end, and I haven't watched it all yet. In the future, we will all have our own 24 video feeds. But I'm a late tech adapter. That may be true. Oreo has balls. It's Oreo balls. Not did I say Oreo's balls? I misspoke if I did. Oreo balls is what Lori was talking about. She was saying you smash them up and you dip them in chocolate and they're incredible. I don't know. You know, I get a different vision of that. I'm sorry. BTM Sparky is getting married to Lisa Hurley at Lolo's Lounge. Okay. Well, congratulations to both BTM Sparky and Lolo, or BTM Sparky and Lisa Hurley. Oh, people had asked about that. Thank you for asking publicly, Mater. People had asked me to show this, and I put it up here to show it, and I would have forgot about that if you hadn't. Dufus, no one can stop her on again, off again. Lola, I love you. I'm serious. If I was no, I'm going to say that because that'd be used against me. I was going to say if I was within 2 states of you, I'd probably be outside your door so much you'd have to put a restraining order on me. But restraining orders are nothing to joke about, and that would have been a joke. So I'm glad I didn't say it. This is Kay. I'd spoken about Kay a couple of times in the past few episodes, and people were wanting to know what she looked like. So I put the picture up there to try to remember to put it up. But can you see it? Can everybody see it all right? There we go. Yeah. So, and she passed away 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. And she was my producer. So the picture sits over there on a over there on a shelf, which I'll put back over there in a minute. So she watches over the show all the time. Yeah, thank you. I'm an excellent ex-wife. Oh, thank you, Lola. Yeah, again, thank you all. It's been a couple of years. Yeah, she's beautiful. I decided that next time I'm ready to get married, I'm just going to walk up to the person I'm ready to marry and just, give them all my stuff and just make it, easier. And just give them all my stuff and walk away. I make a good ex-husband, in other words, Lolo. Oh, yeah, she was. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Kay. We were in the lockdown. During the pandemic, and she got tired of hearing me talk about things, and occasionally laughed till she peed her pants. And she said, she was watching a lot of stuff on YouTube, and she said, you need to put a show up. And I said, the stuff I do on Facebook's enough. And she, no, you need a show. And she set the whole thing up. She started the channel. She named the channel the American Dufus channel. That comes from she would, I would say something stupid and intentionally stupid, and sometimes not intentionally stupid, and she would call me a doofus, and I would say that's American Dufus to you, and I would say it in different language, different dialects. So she named it, and she started the channel. She put the passwords in. She set up the emails. Set up all the channels, and set up, and I keep forgetting to talk. She set up a merchandise store like 2.5 years ago, and I never even talk about it. But yeah, I wouldn't be here doing this. And she set it all up, and it was like, I don't know, almost a week, maybe over a week before I ever decided to do one, because I kept saying, nobody's going to watch this, So thank you all. Thank you all for clicking on. Thank you all for watching this. And yeah, it's all because of Kay. It's so sad to watch a mentally ill person being exploited. See someone crash their own car because of their own hubris. I hope I'm not exploiting anybody, or I'm not getting exploited. I would probably be closer to the one getting exploited being mentally ill. Yeah, there's some doofus merchandise out there at the original American Dufus store. And she named it that because her plan was there would eventually, the brand would be so big that there would eventually be actual stores in every state where you could buy Dufus merchandise. Oh yeah, she was a visionary. No, Mater. No, man. No apologies for asking us. No apologies for asking at all. It's Kanye. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I got you. All right. Katrina's funny. For those that don't know, she's bringing her A game. Where's the American Dufus store? Let me find it real quick. Shoot. I don't even. Jeez. I don't know. There's other doofus things are popping up here. I was the only doofus when this started, but it seems like the hipsters have adopted doofus. Doofus denim duds, the Dufus blog, Dufus gifts and merchandise for sale at Red Rubble. Those aren't mine, I don't think. I don't know. It was shoot, I can't even remember the name of the platform it's on now. And as a runway model for an American Dufus line. Hey, for those that don't know, in the show the other night, Oomp's song was there. We played Oomp's song in there. Dufus Denim Duds is my store, says Crazy Ivan. Oomph, I wrote a song but need the tune. Lolo, Oomp's the one to go to. Oompa Loompa. When the postman rings twice. I want my own fur coat. Ant's a boss. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And the women love him. And rightly so. He's got that, he's got that je ne sais quoi. A lovely, melancholy, bittersweet song by Oomph. Oomph is very talented, yeah. To check, I might do that Saturday as well for New Year's Eve. I might just get the bass out for like the first couple of minutes of the show, what I call the lead in. Basically, it's, in all honesty, it's giving people time to come and log on, give them a couple of minutes, give people a couple of minutes to get logged on. But I may do that. I may do that New Year's Eve. I'm not sure. My Dufus dog is growling, and I planned on ending this at 11:30, and now I'm at almost 11:45. I still love him, but I pulled the knife out of my back in American Dufus channel. I hope you don't think I put a knife in your back, BTM Sparky. I had nothing to do with any of that stuff. And that's not my monkey, not my circus. I love both of y'all. And I hope all that stuff gets worked out, because really, sincerely. Violent punk vibe. New Year's should be talent night. Hey, that's not a bad idea, too, Check. I was thinking about doing something like some kind of, I don't know, I forget what it's called. Charades. I was thinking about doing something like charades. Okay. Thank you, BTM Sparky. Yeah. I was thinking about doing charades, but maybe, talent night, because there's enough time yet to get the word out. And I really would. I'd like to have other people join us if we could, and it'd be really nice if somebody from the other side, so to speak. Let's refer to it. Let's see. What is it? It's what is it in Hogwarts? Slytherin. If somebody from the Slytherin side would come on and just have some fun, that would be different. I don't know if it happened, but consider the invitation open. And again, all of you, anybody out there, Saturday night, it's going to be a party. We're going to party. We may even, play some actual real life, get copyright strike music. So you need to watch the live, because chances are things will be removed from the live before the on demand's released. No, they're not that talented. Is CKM music in here? Cool. Hi, CKM. Hey, you know who CKM? I think you've got a connection to them. It'd be really cool if like Rooster and the heck was her name? The other mod for Wizzy. Because we talked on occasion at the BTM YouTube, and I can't remember her name. As soon as I see it, I'll go, yeah, that's it. Anyway, if Wizzy and Rooster, Kerfuffle, I always thought she was really intelligent. If you have connections with them, pass the word along that they are welcome, and I would be honored and privileged to have them come on Saturday night and have some fun with us, and just put everything aside for a while if that's possible. Rooster kicks ass too. Yeah. New Year's isn't until Saturday. Lori and I didn't really plan a daggone thing for the Christmas Eve thing. The night before, I texted her and I said, "You going live?" And she said, "No, I don't think so. Are you?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." I said, "You do anything tomorrow night?" "No, I don't think so." And I said, "Let's do a Christmas Eve party." And that's how that happened. So, need the mumbling melons. That would be cool. It would be so cool to have a big live talent night. People joining in from, people just broadcasting live from wherever they're at. I think that would be cool. Chud could sing Slow Ride. I can play Slow Ride, no problem. I used to sing it. I don't want you work all day. I don't want you make my pay. I don't want to do the truth. Honk Tifa and a zebra smoking jacket. Rooster's lives are so much fun. She has many of us intrigued by Ewok. I don't know where. Where's Rooster? I didn't know Rooster did lives. I just knew, no doubt, Baldy and Jerry Garcia. I didn't know Rooster did lives. I'll watch her live. Have you heard the DOA song? Which DOA song? The Jerry Garcia? Which DOA song? Ewok is gold. Okay, Lolo, email me. Have a good night. Mwah. We're back on again, by the way, just in case you're wondering. Oh. Yeah, we got a couple of nights. We will be back tomorrow night. Again, we'll be back with GA from CA, and Baldy wrote one for okay, I'll check that out. I think I might have, I don't know if I played it or not. I'll check it out, Feisty. GA from CA and Cunning Stunt will be here, and they're keeping, if we do the pajama party, they won't be showing their pajamas tomorrow night. You'll have to come Saturday to see that. G Abbott's a badass. G Abbott, Max Flower, as far as female characters in chat that I met early on, that just immediately I knew, like, hey, these are women that I can listen to. Oreo could keep all the wine glasses filled to the top with his whining. Is he whining? Oh, hey, let Oreo know. Let all of them know. We're having a New Year's Eve party, and put down your weapons. Bring your moonshine. You know, bring your rabbit weed from the mountains, and because you know, I got kin that grew up down there. I know what rabbit weed is. Strong, independent women. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody was bothering, but if anybody's bothering Lolo, leave her alone. I don't think anybody was. It'll be fun. It will be fun. Makala, you're going to be there, I hope. I hope all of you are going to be there. I drank Kentucky bourbon. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's the only really true bourbon. If it doesn't come from Kentucky, it's just whiskey. Oreo versus Lolo. I would watch that one. I'd bet on Lolo. Horse pace. Rabbit weed is what my my mom's side of the family back in Kentucky called marijuana. It's rabbit weed. Taco Joe teaches how not to drive. Yeah, we'll have some fun. Who knows what's going to happen? We'll play some games. We'll dance. We'll sing. We'll laugh. We'll cry. We'll do everything safely online and not transmit any kind of germs or anything. No, sassy pants, you can't hang up on mama. Absolutely not. Kill him with kindness. Yeah. All right. Is there going to be an after party tonight? It's almost midnight. Somebody's going to be live. Look for Summer or, I don't think I saw Lori in here tonight. Did I? To check, much love. When I drink alone. All by myself. Because when I drink alone, I prefer to be by myself. Telescope going live in a bit. If he doesn't, then Summer's going to be live. Okay. Better stock up Barry with the fireball. Yeah, actually, probably no fireball on Saturday because that was a little crazy. I'll just maybe have a bottle of champagne at midnight. Have a wonderful evening yourself, Spoon. Always be kind. Oomph. Patricia, BTM, Sparky, Feisty Mama, Hot Mess, ACB, Lolo. Everybody in the chat, everybody watching not in the chat, everybody watching on demand on the next day. I love you all. We will be back tomorrow night, 10 p.m. with GA from CA and Cunning Stunt. I hope you'll join us. Thursday night, we will have From This I Know. And again, I hope you will join us. And then we'll have New Year's Eve coming up on Saturday. It'll be here before you know it. Serious. Good night. Good night. Love you, Summer. Love you all. Thank you very much. Cunning. Mwah. Bunny, Makala, we'll see you next time. Thank you all. It's a dark world. Be a light. Peace.